What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Reckless Ray De Niro, and we're back again Sunday, February 12th, Super Bowl Sunday. Go Chiefs. I said it. I'm wearing the shirt. Go Chiefs. Wanted to make sure that I got this dropped before the Super Bowl festivities because depending on how late the game runs and how long we're going, I'm probably not going to be able to record this later. Not going to be lying. We're going to be out here. A little bit of bag fumbling going on. Yeah. So, with that said, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with the housekeeping. Obviously, those of you who are in the Bag Chasers will be getting this Sunday, February 12th. First and foremost, as soon as it's done, I start uploading. As soon as it's done uploading, I give it to you guys. That is the Bag Chasers, the Anton Daniels Bag Chasers. Link is in the description. If you want early access to this or direct access to me, I am in the Discord heavily. I am in the cryptocurrency channel. I bounce around a few other channels, but the cryptocurrency channel, I have made my home in there. And generally speaking, a lot of banter, a lot of conversation back and forth going on in there. And I am quick to answer. I am checking that throughout the day. I am looking for the notification for people talking in there so that I can see and answer their questions. That is Anton Daniels of AntonDaniels.com. Really good ecosystem, really good network, really good show. The Millionaire Morning Show. He's got a few shows, but the Millionaire Morning Show is normally what I'm tapping into based on the subject matter. There's things that are of value to me in there. Definitely some things that are of value to me and some people that are of great value to me within the network, the Bag Chasers Network. I am proud and happy to be a part of that. So for the entirety of this year, 2023, you will be getting my contribution and my way of giving back to that community as they get access to these videos first. Everybody else will be getting it on Wednesday. That's 72 hours later. So if you want to get the scoop ahead of time, come join us in the Bag Chase. It's a great network. You will not regret it. There's a lot more than just crypto talk going on in there. There's some very high level stock, business opportunities, networking opportunities, fireside chats by people with different expertise in different fields, different areas, different angles that are going on in there. There's just a lot of game. If you join, obviously that will give you Patreon access, which there is a ton of game in there as well. Ton of game. Limited exclusive interviews, a lot of game, but I always tell people make sure that you're in that Discord. The Discord, in my opinion, is where it's at. Like, there's more activity, there's stuff always going on, there's conversations always happening. Some more entertaining than others. There's links to other content that you might be interested in. There's just a lot of great stuff going on in there. So that's my spiel on that. Also, obviously, this is for entertainment and education purposes. This is not financial advice. This is what I'm doing. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is what you should be doing, but you can be the judge of whether you should be doing any of the stuff that I'm doing by doing your own research. But either way, you're going to get to see the results of what I'm doing on a weekly basis. So, let me bump my head and blow my money so you don't have to. As we've been going through, this has been me tracking my portfolio that I have built out for 2023 forward. So when I rolled this portfolio over, obviously we set the intent of stacking as much Ethereum as we could this calendar year. For me, I think that's going to roll out to being somewhere around 10 Ethereum is my goal. So one of the things that was noted this week, I was getting really excited, was we were getting to the point to where we are hitting a threshold of where we were going to get our next Ethereum infusion, which obviously the strategy that I'm using, we are stacking up Ethereum until we hit 1.5 Ethereum. Then we're taking the 0.5, we're taking that, we're staking it on Alchemix, which is our forced savings for Ethereum because it's a self-repaying loan. So you're going to get that back eventually. With the goal of unlocking that either towards the end of the year or having it fully paid back at the beginning of, probably for me personally, I'm looking at having access to that to convert over if I need to in 2025, which is what I'm projecting the next bull run. But I'm planning on whatever gains that we've made this year, I'll have a pool of money that will hopefully clear that out this year, and then we'll get to reutilize the whole of that for the next year. And then, rinse and repeat. But in preparation for this next bull run cycle, we are stacking as much ETH as possible. This year, I am looking at stacking 10. Next year, I'll probably looking at stacking another 10. So we'll be rolling into the bull run with 20 Ethereum stacked up. The goal, obviously, is to get to 32 in the treasury, so that way we can do the on-chain staking for Ethereum and, have that actual good amount, be able to set up my own node. And with this buy-in this week, we are currently have broke the threshold of 4 Ethereum already, which is pretty awesome. Now that's also factoring in what we rolled over in profits when we cashed out last year's portfolio, obviously, but it's still nice to see those numbers going up, which is always a good thing. So what we've got is we went ahead and did our next cash infusion. So we took the 0.5 Ethereum, staked it on Alchemix, and then we took the loan for the 50% loan to value of collateral over there for the self-repaying loans. And that 50% leveled itself out. So we had 0.25 Ethereum that we then got to put into our position. So how does that change our portfolio makeup? Obviously, with the Ethereum, we are up to 40. If rounding up, we're up to 43% there now. Synthetics, we did not do any buys over there, so that is now at 30%. Cosmos Hub, we haven't done any buys over there yet, so that is at 0.5%. All of these other positions obviously shrunk, except for a couple. So what we did was we closed out a couple of positions, which is cool. I love checking stuff off my list. So Yearn Finance, I made my last purchase over there because the goal was we were supposed to have, I was looking at having 1,000 of the Curve tokens staked. So that has moved up to 9% of the portfolio. Obviously, we hit a sell metric. And in doing that, we did our first sell-off already. So I did not buy those tokens back, but since this had dropped, since we're doing a healthy pullback, obviously some people are scared in the market right now. As you can see, we're still up in the healthy range here. But looking at this, it's like, there's no straight lines up, so there's going to be market volatility. So we had a dip, and fortunately, I was in a position to where I'm actually hitting some of these dips on bye weeks, which is cool. So the wire and curve dropped below $1. So I scooped up my last buy on that because I'm projecting it in the bull run. Obviously, this is a position that I'm willing to sit on for years. I have every intent of keeping a small bag of this even after the run, because once we hit the bull run, pretty much I'm expecting all my top 10 coins to be sitting in over 100% profit. I'm planning on getting my whole investment that I'm putting in these positions back. So we closed out the Yearn Curve position, so I could check it off my list. So we won't be buying any more of that. We're just looking for those pops that are high enough, which now it's going to be in the 150-200% range before I take my next buyout on this. But we're gonna, since it's in a staked position, it's stacking this whole time. So I'm not super worried about that. And this position specifically, I am not necessarily cashing out weekly like I am some of my other positions that I'm tracking a little bit closer that are just straight up income positions. So that's riding, which is cool, but we are also done with that position. The next thing that we did with the remainder of our funds was we have our volatile income position of the Polygon Life LP that I have staked that I'm farming. I finished that position out. So now that was a higher volatility position. So now the next one, which I have to pick out what I'm going to be doing with this. The next one will be a lower volatility position, which means I'm looking at another long-term infrastructural position. I've just got to figure out something that's in a range that I want, that's acceptable to me, and then I'm going to execute on that. The other thing that I will have, which will be on next week's video, is I still have to finish out my gambling positions, and I pulled a little bit of funds off of this one to set aside for that specifically. Not 100% sure how I'm going to play that out, because those are going to be short term. I've got my ear to the ground on potentially doing some AI positions, and doing a little scatter blasting on that to put like maybe 2 or 3 tokens into a portfolio, maybe building an AI portfolio with a set amount that I'm going to personally put into that portfolio and running that as a position, and then just pulling a little bit every time I'm either every time that I'm putting money into the market, or just taking 100 every time I get ready to do the big cash infusions. I'm still debating on that, on how I want to do that, but I think that's going to be one of the things I might do. I might build an automated narrative portfolio that, something fun to watch and see what it does. Just straight gamble, let it run, and see how we do. But those were the buys that we made this week. Couple of things I'm looking at for the next position. I'm potentially there's a few, but I'm really looking at going ahead and getting position on Redacted. That's one that I've been looking at. I'm really interested in it. It's an infrastructural position. It ties into some stuff that I already use, and it could be a next progressive step for my portfolio. Would be an income position. So we'll see how that goes. One of the other things that I did note, that I have been noting, is like my bear market goal for when everything drops and you flat bottom out for my income is an extra $100 a month off of just the income positions, and we have been hitting that metric, which is cool. I did my end of month finances rolling into this month, and that was one of the things I noticed. I was like, oh yeah, for like the past couple of months I've been able to actually make that happen. So as we're growing these positions out, obviously that's going to continue to grow. But the perk of that is when you have an income position portfolio set up the way that I have it set up, these are set up for bull runs. So you get, during the bull run, since the prices and the values of these coins go up so much, it exponentially increases. So like we had a 80 to 90% retracement after the last bull run collapse, but for about a year and a half, I was 80 to 90% up or more, because I was doing some more risky stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what this bull run does, but all of the prices on everything is pulled back 80 to 90% right now. So I'm really interested to see what that's going to look like come the next bull run, because I know what to do with that income now. And that's going to be a really interesting scenario to see play out now that I'm prepared for it, because like we're gonna be able to definitely stack some gains and retain them. Like I have a retention plan now. I've got a couple of things in place. So like I'm ready for that influx. The first time around I was just talking trash and not ready for it. And like I rode those, because like me personally, I'm not a big cash out person, but I didn't store that value in a fashion to where I could reutilize it. And this time around I will be able to do that. But yeah, we're looking at the redacted. We've got our convex. Well, actually, the convex curve we're not really worried about. But like redacted is most likely right now. That's what I'm leaning towards as the primary position. I might check and see what the return on these alchemics positions are, but like just so that we can walk through what I'm looking at. So like when I look at these, there are two numbers I look at. I look at the all-time low and the all-time high. So first off, I want to know where and when this bottomed out and what that looked like. Okay? Because that way you know when you're going into a position what that's going to look like. Now, the all-time high I also look at because generally speaking, if you're making a play on a bull run, they'll break all-time highs the next bull run if the project is worth its salt. Like obviously you got to do your research on that, but like I'm also looking at the potential gain that we could get so that I can plan the metrics at which I'm going to start pulling money. So this one, so like redacted as an income play for me will work. We're already pretty high. So like this is only down 35% from the all-time high. So to me, there's another piece of this though. This hasn't been around for a year yet. So with that said, that adds a different variable because this not having been around for a full 12-month cycle of data, nor has it been through a bull run. So this has only been around for 1 year. This hasn't really been through a bull run yet. So like this number for me, very subjective. Like I'm like, okay, so we're going to hit, in my opinion, when I'm looking at it, the way that I'm looking at it, like I'll get positioned on this because I'm going, okay, this can hit 400 again. I believe that because we haven't had a full year. This hasn't been through a bull run. So we don't know what this coin's going to do. Potential downside is this thing could drop to $44. If that's an acceptable risk, and for an income play, like obviously like you see these things like that makes sense for if you're in a bear market in crypto, like that, those are numbers that are believable. So then it comes down to the fundamentals of the token, how I'm utilizing it, which this would be an income position. So this would be a medium for me. But since I'm planning and we're making positions for the next bull run, which is in 2025, could I ride this level of volatility till then? For me, absolutely, I definitely could. So in that position, I'm like, okay, I could look at that. I could look at that as a serious position for me. So the other one that we were talking about is Alchemix. I haven't looked to see what kind of staking return you get for this coin, but we can do the same thing here. So this has been around for a year. We're down 99% from last bull run. The low is 1349, which was a month ago. So we're up 50% from the all-time low, so it's based out. Oof, considering I'm using this platform, there's a lot more upside if we can break through the previous all-time high. If we touch the all-time high again, if we go 25% to all-time high, this is the better bet. I've got to go figure out what the staking is for this. Like if I can figure out a way to make this work within like the staking parameters I'm looking for, this is the better bet. And so like this is the type of stuff that I'm looking for because I am heavily utilizing this platform. So holding this token has no bearing for me. Like I have no qualms holding this token. Like I'm already entrenched in this protocol heavily. My fate is tied to it as far as like my treasury goes for this year and the next year. For at least 2 years, I'm beholden to this. So there's a lot more upside and a lot less downside on this play than the redacted play. So I'm gonna have to do my research to figure out what the staking on this looks like and what the staking mechanism is and what the return is and how I could flip that. But I could definitely see positioning myself on a few hundred of these tokens. Yeah, like potentially, yeah. Ugh. Yeah. This is the play. Okay, so let's get into the news. We've got some crypto news. I always try to have these for the videos as well. So the news this week is PayPal reveals massive crypto holdings, totaling 604 million. So there were a couple of pieces on here that I thought, because like this is pretty awesome. Like obviously, if these centralized old legacy platforms are um, offering crypto holdings, that means they have to physically hold the crypto for you to trade on their platform. Like they have to physically have it. So, like this isn't something that you take lightly. Like they have to have crypto on their platform for you to buy, sell, and hold it. One of the things that I thought was really interesting here, and it goes back to the old adage within the crypto community, and those of us who have been here, you'll hear us say it all the time: not your keys, not your crypto. What that means is if you are keeping all of your crypto holdings on a centralized exchange, that would be your Coinbase, your Kraken, your PayPal, CashApp, anything where you don't hold the private keys to that, if that platform goes bankrupt, belly up, whatever, they get to keep your crypto, their, i.e., your money. That becomes their property because they're holding it for you, which is why I say you never have all your stuff on a centralized exchange. Like the stuff that you're not active with needs to not be on there. You don't just leave it there. You need to have any other type of wallet, like anything, like a ledger, preferably. Referral link is down in the description. You can get yourself a little discount on that. But, or at minimum, a hot wallet, a real easy one. There's two. There's the main one that I use is a hot wallet called MetaMask. It interfaces with everything. Very easy to use. Has its own Web3 browser built into it. Very, very easy to use. Another option, Trust Wallet. Another good one to use. Has the same integration. It doesn't integrate with as much stuff. Like I ran into some issues where certain platforms it did not work on. I did not like that. And another one that's also very easy to use is Exodus Wallet, which you can put on your desktop. I recommend if you are using a desktop or using these apps as extensions on a desktop, it is a desktop that you have specifically for crypto. Buy a cheap $300 to $500 computer that you only use for these transactions. My recommendation is find an old Microsoft Surface Pro. That's what I like to use those. They're convenient. They're very portable. If you're traveling, it's easy to take with you. But something of the like to where it is only used for those interactions. And I also highly recommend having a VPN set up on there and, having a paid service that gives you VPN access to outside of the country. So that way, no matter where you are, you can have the freedom to use the internet. But only using it for cryptocurrency transactions. Don't use it for anything else. Like you're just opening yourself up to issues. I'm a heavy advocate for Ledger. The reason I like MetaMask is because Ledger integrates with MetaMask. So that way, when you're doing Web3 stuff, it's very hard to empty out your wallet if they have to have your ledger to approve the transaction. It's an additional level of safety. Because once you start storing your stuff, you are responsible for said stuff. So like that's the reason I say not everybody's built for this. Like if you need stuff easy, then you either get to take those risks of what comes with easy, or you shouldn't be in this market. Just plain and simple. Because like if these platforms go down, it says it right here, we cannot be certain that these contractual obligations, even if duly observed by the custodian, will be effective in preventing such assets from being treated as part of the custodian's estate under bankruptcy or other insolvency law. Right there. They've said it themselves. Like, obviously you can have all the faith in the world in PayPal, but like if they go under, those crypto assets that you are keeping on PayPal, just sitting there as though that's your wallet, becomes theirs. It's not yours. And so that's, err on the side of caution. Like I've been doing this a very long time, and I understand this very well. Like, I got into this space because I wanted control, so I only use these things for what they're used for, which is trading. Like, that's that's all I use it for. Like, I don't keep over a certain amount that I'm comfortable with. Like, hey, if this walked off and I lost it, would my portfolio go on? Am I cool writing this off? For that exact reason. So you gotta watch yourself, especially during the bull run, because it's not necessarily the bear markets where obviously we've seen some platforms run into some issues, but it's not the bear market where you have these problems. It's the transition from the bull market to the bear market where you have these problems, because for some reason these big conglomerates where these people are supposed to just know how everything works, for some odd reason they become completely financially illiterate when the money's pouring in, and they don't prepare for the winter. They go through the harvest and eat all the food and don't save any for winter. And then when we have these drops, the drops trigger these platforms where they were living high on the hog, paying exuberant rates and not stacking any money away for the bear market, because it's not like we haven't seen this happen 4 other times now where stuff drops 80 to 90%, but they're not prepared for it. So it's one of those things, like, no matter how much you trust these things, like, if you're into crypto, you need to be into crypto, and part of that is self-custodying your crypto. And I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. To the bag chasers that are, hopefully you guys get to, catch some of the Super Bowl game and watch my Chiefs go all the way. Chiefs, baby. That's what it's going to be about. Until next week, I hope you made it through this weekend and you didn't fumble the bag too bad. Obviously, we're all doing Super Bowl, hopefully. Super Bowl parties. For those of you who aren't doing Super Bowl parties, you fumbled the bag less than I did for once, because I'm going in on these Super Bowl parties. So I'm about to go have a Super Bowl party myself. And if you're following me on Instagram, I'm 100% sure that there will be videos and clips and pictures and all sorts of stupid fun stuff about all the dumb fun we're having and all the cool Chiefs stuff and the cute shirts and all that greatness. But until next week, in which case I will have some updates for you. If you are not following me on Instagram, I highly recommend, because if I do this, set up this AI bot, a lot of those updates, like, I will be updating them in the videos, but I'll probably be doing a photo update of how that process is going on my Instagram. I'm getting ready to start ramping that up a little bit. There's going to be some crypto stuff, there's going to be some fitness stuff, there's going to be some dance stuff, there's going to be some Ray's life stuff, some interesting things from my job. All the things are about to start going on there, because I've realized that I don't post enough content. Also, once I get around to cutting up my shorts, a lot of the shorts, little hot takes from my other videos and panels and stuff, are going to start filtering in there. So if you're not tapped in on the Instagram, my link tree is down in the description. It has all my socials on there. Connect with me. I'm your friend. Also, if you have questions that you want to have answered on the show, you can email me at recklessraydinero@gmail.com. You can also send me questions on Instagram. I will answer those questions. They'll be on the show, but, like, I will take those questions there as well. So for those of you who aren't doing things the old school way and are on some of the other platforms, you can slide into the DMs on Instagram and shoot your questions there, and I will answer them on the show as well. But that's going to be it for this week. I hope you guys have a great week ahead. You know what I'm saying? We're building, we're stacking, we're watching the portfolio grow. Doing this with you guys is probably one of the main reasons that my portfolio is sitting here, in the ranges that it is. Like, the reason it's built up to what it's built up to is because I'm having to be accountable and explain these positions to you guys. So this is also benefiting me a great deal, because normally my year does not start off with a 28% win this early. Normally it's like I'm dinking my head against the wall and having to fight through some stuff. And this year I did it in a way that is a little bit more boring to me, a little bit less interesting to me, but it's working. And that's saying a lot about getting over your own ego, getting over your own sense of, hey, I know what it is, versus actually practicing what I preach to other people that come into this market, because I don't want to see them have to fight so hard to get their footing into the market, just to see them leave Jada because they bought a gamble coin. They bought a Shiba Inu at the peak and then lost 80% of their money, and like now they're upset. So, say what you want, the boring stuff works, and we're parsing that out this year. Um, we're we're getting to look at it and see that taking the appropriate steps and doing things the right way and not gambling or tricking off all your money actually works, which is cool. So I'd like to thank you all for that. Obviously, ways to support me: like, subscribe, share, drop me comments. I do appreciate the comments, and I do reply to the comments. So definitely do that as well, because I am down in the comments on these videos. I do moderate all of my comments myself, so you're not getting, I do not have a team. It's just me. Like, I'm not that special. I don't have enough followers for that right now. But when you drop comments, I do read them, I do reply. So definitely touch base in the comments. One of the things that I'm wondering is if people would find it advantageous if I did a how-to video on how to set up a MetaMask or a Trust wallet or any of the hot wallets. If that would be of value to you, I will do it. I'm trying to gauge where people at, 'cause like I know I have a lot of new people. I know I have some people that I have previously coached within the market that are in here watching these videos and seeing how I'm doing things in the current iteration, because this is portfolio management by me 2.0 here with some of my ideologies. I've rounded off some of those edges. We're becoming a diamond. I've been through the pressure. So let me know what you guys need. If there's something that you need, and it's not just going to be just you, if you want to know how I go through my computer setup, like how we're setting up to keep your computer offline, some of my personal best practices for interacting in this space, let me know what you guys need, and we'll get some of those videos cranked out too, because I definitely want stuff that'll be useful to you and the people that you're dealing with, because it's not just about me. Every person who's in crypto knows more than the next person that's talking to them about them being in crypto. So if you're the guy for whoever you're talking to. So if I can make something that will help you and the people that are coming in behind you that you're talking to about crypto, then I will make those tools. I will make those resources for you. But yeah, so hope you guys have a great week. We will talk to you next Sunday. And yeah, this is your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero, and I'm out.